The massive Imperial fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, their dark hulls reflecting the distant sunlight. 300 warships, each larger than Earth's biggest cities, arranged themselves in the standard conquest formation. At their center, the Imperial command ship, Star Sovereign, loomed like a metal moon. Admiral Rex stood on his command bridge, looking at the blue planet through the view screen. His lips curled into a familiar smile, the same smile he had worn during the conquest of 1,000 other worlds. This backwater planet would be no different. Scan for their defensive capabilities, he ordered. The crew worked at their stations, their six-fingered hands dancing over holographic controls. Earth appeared primitive to their sensors. A few space stations, some lunar outposts, and a scattered collection of satellites. "Sir, they haven't even developed basic shield technology," reported his second-in-command. "Their most advanced weapons are chemical rockets and nuclear devices." Rex nodded. Standard procedure required offering submission terms before conquest. He had done this countless times before. Send the message. The Imperial ultimatum boomed across all Earth frequencies. Primitive civilization, you stand before the might of the Galactic Empire. Submit to Imperial rule or face extinction. You have one planetary rotation to respond. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility unknown even to most world governments, General Thompson watched the alien fleet on advanced quantum imaging displays. Unlike the outdated technology visible to Imperial scanners, these screens showed every detail of the invasion force. "They took the bait," Thompson said to the room full of military leaders from Earth's secret unified command. Just like the others. For over a century, humanity had maintained a carefully crafted illusion of technological backwardness. While alien observers saw primitive satellites and space stations, Earth's true capabilities remained hidden behind quantum veils and dimensional shields. "Time to activate Protocol Porcupine," asked Colonel Banks, her finger hovering over a neural interface panel. Thompson nodded. Around the planet, hidden defense systems powered up. Microscopic machines, scattered through the solar system decades ago, began their work. Quantum computers more advanced than anything the Empire had ever seen processed battle strategies in milliseconds. "Sir," a young lieutenant called out, "the Empire is launching scout ships. They're moving to standard orbital positions." Thompson smiled. "Let them come a little closer. We want them well inside the net before we spring the trap." In space, Imperial scout ships moved confidently toward Earth. Their crews had done this hundreds of times. Set up orbital positions, prepare for the ground invasion that would follow when the primitives inevitably refused to submit. On the Star Sovereign, Admiral Rex watched with satisfaction. These humans hadn't even attempted to communicate, probably still in shock, like most primitive species when they first encountered the Empire. "Sir," his sensor officer called out suddenly, "I'm detecting some strange readings from the planet." "Explain," Rex demanded. "The energy signatures, they're changing." "But that's impossible. Our initial scans showed." The officer never finished his sentence. Every screen on the bridge suddenly went dark. The ship's artificial intelligence went silent. Even the artificial gravity flickered. "Report," Rex shouted. "What's happening?" Through the view screen, he watched in horror as a shimmer spread across Earth's orbit. Like a veil being lifted, the true face of human civilization revealed itself. Massive defense platforms appeared where there had been empty space. Swarms of advanced ships emerged from dimensional pockets. The primitive satellites transformed, unfolding into weapon systems beyond Imperial understanding. "Impossible," Rex whispered. A new message reached the Imperial fleet, broadcast in perfect Imperial language. "Galactic Empire, you have entered restricted space. Earth is not your conquest target. We are your worst nightmare. Your systems are now under our control. Your weapons are disabled. Your ships are locked in quantum stasis fields. You will listen carefully to what we have to say." Admiral Rex sank into his command chair as the message continued. "For centuries, we have watched your empire expand. We have studied your technology, your tactics, your weaknesses. We have chosen to reveal ourselves now because you finally crossed the line we drew in space. Welcome to Earth, Admiral. We will be having a very interesting conversation about the future of galactic politics. The greatest invasion force in Imperial history hung helpless in space, and on Earth, humanity finally dropped its mask of primitive civilization. The game of hide and seek was over. Now, the real negotiations would begin. Admiral Rex watched helplessly as his scout ships hung motionless in Earth's orbit, caught in invisible fields of energy he couldn't comprehend. The mighty Imperial fleet, terror of 1,000 worlds, had been reduced to floating debris in mere minutes. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "the humans are requesting your presence. They're offering to teleport you directly to their command center." Rex straightened his uniform. Teleportation. That's impossible across these distances without a receiving station. Even as he spoke those words, golden light began surrounding him. "Actually," a calm voice said from behind him, "quite a lot of things you believe impossible are quite simple for us." Rex spun around to find himself standing in a vast underground chamber. The walls displayed holographic images of his entire fleet, shown from angles that shouldn't have been possible. Around him stood Earth's military command, their uniforms simple but their technology beyond anything he had ever seen. General Thompson approached, extending his hand in what Rex's cultural database identified as a greeting gesture. "Welcome to Earth's Deep Command. I apologize for the abrupt transfer, but we have matters to discuss." Rex struggled to maintain his imperial dignity. "You cannot treat the Empire this way. We have conquered galaxies." "No," Thompson replied calmly. "You've conquered primitive worlds that couldn't fight back. We're something else entirely. Colonel Banks, please show our guest what happened to his scout ships." On the massive screens, Rex watched as one of his scout vessels attempted to break free from Earth's quantum lock. The ship's engines flared to full power, straining against invisible bonds. "We're going to demonstrate something," Thompson explained. "Just a small example of why your empire should reconsider its expansion policies." A tiny point of light appeared near the struggling scout ship. In an instant, the vessel's hull began to dissolve, transforming into pure energy that dispersed harmlessly into space. Within seconds, the entire ship was gone, its crew safely teleported to holding chambers on Earth. "Nanite disassemblers," Thompson explained. "We could have done the same to your entire fleet. Instead, we chose to talk." Rex felt his legs weaken. How long have you had these capabilities?" "Longer than your empire has existed," another human officer replied. "We developed differently than most species. While others reached for the stars immediately, we stayed quiet, watched, learned, built our defenses first." Thompson led Rex to a detailed hologram of the galaxy. Thousands of points of light flickered across its spiral arms. "The red dots are your imperial worlds. The blue ones are Earth's hidden outposts. We've been studying you for a very long time." Rex stared in shock at the blue dots scattered throughout Imperial space. They were everywhere, even near the Empire's core worlds. "This is impossible. Our sensors would have detected." "Your sensors detect what we want them to detect," Thompson interrupted. "Just like they saw only primitive satellites around Earth. Speaking of which," the general gestured, and the hologram zoomed in on Earth's orbit. The previously invisible defense grid now showed itself fully. Massive stations hung in space, their designs unlike anything in Imperial records. Swarms of automated defenders moved in complex patterns. Energy fields that defied Imperial physics created layered shields around the planet. "This," Thompson said, "is why we're called a death world by some advanced species. Not because we're primitive, but because we're too dangerous to approach." The Empire just never got the memo. A new alarm sounded through the chamber. On the screens, the Imperial fleet's backup systems had activated. Ships were charging weapons, preparing for a desperate attack. Thompson sighed. It seems your crew didn't get the message, Admiral. Now we'll have to demonstrate why that's a very bad idea. No, wait. Rex reached for his emergency communicator, but it was dead in his hand. I can order them to stand down. Too late, Thompson said quietly. Watch carefully, Admiral. This is what happens when someone attacks Earth. Above the planet, the defense grid hummed to life. Rex watched in horror as his mighty fleet was about to learn why Earth had been left alone by those species advanced enough to know better. The demonstration was about to begin, and the Empire's understanding of its place in the galaxy was about to change forever. The Imperial fleet's weapons blazed to life, filling space with enough firepower to shatter a small moon. For a brief moment, Admiral Rex felt a surge of pride in his force's fighting spirit. Then he watched as every single energy blast and projectile simply vanished meters from Earth's defense grid. Dimensional pocket technology, General Thompson explained casually. Your weapons aren't being blocked. They're being redirected into empty parallel spaces. We could send them back if you prefer. Rex shook his head quickly. That won't be necessary. He watched as his fleet's most powerful weapons proved completely useless. Please, call off your defense systems. Thompson nodded to Colonel Banks. The quantum display showed Earth's automated defenses powering down to standby mode. The Imperial fleet hung motionless once again, caught in invisible fields. Now, Thompson said, let's talk about why Earth has stayed hidden all these years. Display historical record Omega-7. The chamber's walls transformed into a panoramic view of human history, but not the primitive version the Empire's records contained. Rex watched in amazement as scenes played out showing Earth's true technological development. 200 years ago, Thompson narrated, we detected the first alien signals. Unlike most species, we didn't broadcast our excitement to the stars. Instead, we listened, watched, learned. The displays showed Earth's hidden technological revolution, while maintaining a facade of primitive development above ground. Humanity had built vast underground cities and secret space installations. We saw how the Empire treated developing worlds, Thompson continued. Your protection always came with a price. Resources, soldiers, submission. We chose a different path. Rex watched as the historical display showed Earth's first faster-than-light experiments, conducted in dimensional bubbles that hid them from Imperial sensors. But why maintain the deception? With this level of technology, you could have joined the Empire as equals. Thompson laughed. Equals? Your Empire doesn't have equals, Admiral. It has rulers and subjects. We preferred our independence. The displays shifted to show Earth's hidden colonies, carefully established in systems the Empire had dismissed as worthless. While Imperial ships passed by dead-looking worlds, human settlements thrived beneath their surfaces or in dimensional pockets. For centuries, Thompson explained, we've been building what we call the Shadow Network. Every time your ships passed through our monitored space, we learned more about your technology, your tactics, your weaknesses. Rex felt a chill as he realized the implications. You've been preparing for war. No, Thompson replied firmly. We've been preparing to prevent war. Earth doesn't want conflict with the Empire. We want you to understand that some worlds are best left alone. New images appeared, showing advanced human ships emerging from hidden docks across the solar system. Their designs were completely alien to Imperial knowledge. Smooth shapes that seemed to bend space around them. Your Empire represents order, structure, hierarchy, Thompson continued. Earth represents something you've never encountered before. A civilization that developed in secret, specifically to resist absorption into larger powers. Rex stared at the displays, his military mind finally grasping the full picture. You're not just one world. You're an invisible network spread throughout our territory. A shadow empire that grew right under our sensors. Not an empire, Thompson corrected. We don't believe in empires. We believe in independence, in the right of worlds to develop without interference. That's why we're revealing ourselves now. The displays showed the current situation: Earth's defense grid holding the Imperial fleet helpless, but not destroying it. This is a demonstration, Admiral. A message to your empire that expansion has limits. Some doors should remain closed. Rex understood finally. His mighty fleet hadn't stumbled upon a primitive world ready for conquest. They had accidentally knocked on the door of something far older and more dangerous, a civilization that had chosen to hide its power rather than display it. "What happens now?" he asked quietly. Thompson gestured, and the displays showed a new star map. "Now, Admiral, we're going to establish some boundaries. Areas where Imperial ships will not be welcome. Regions that will remain free from your influence. And you're going to help us deliver this message to your leaders." The future of galactic politics was about to change, and Admiral Rex realized he was watching the birth of a new era, one where the Empire's power finally met its match in a civilization that had spent centuries preparing for this very moment. On board the Star Sovereign, the Imperial crew watched in growing panic as their admiral remained in Earth's custody. The ship's advanced AI systems were completely locked out, reduced to basic life support functions. Even their emergency quantum communicators, technology believed to be unhackable, remained silent. First Officer Davis paced the command bridge, his alien features twisted with concern. "Status report," he barked at his remaining crew. "Sir," the weapons officer responded, "Earth's defense grid is changing. Their technology. It's like nothing in our databases. The structures are reconfiguring themselves." The massive orbital platforms around Earth were indeed transforming. What had appeared as defensive stations now shifted into smooth organic shapes that defied Imperial engineering knowledge. They'd move like living things, responding to commands humans had not visibly given. In Earth's deep command, Admiral Rex watched the display with Thompson. "Your ships," the general explained, "are about to witness something we call the integration. Colonel Banks, begin the demonstration." The air around them shimmered as Banks interfaced with Earth's quantum systems through neural links in her uniform. Above the planet, the defense platforms suddenly released clouds of microscopic machines. "Nanite swarms," Thompson said, "but unlike anything your empire has developed. These don't just build or destroy. They rewrite the fundamental laws of local spacetime." Rex watched in horror as the swarms approached his fleet. Where they touched the Imperial ship's hulls, the metal itself began to change. Not destroying, but transforming. "We're not damaging your vessels," Thompson assured him. "We're upgrading them, showing your crew exactly how far behind Earth's technology they really are." On the Star Sovereign's bridge, First Officer Davis stared in amazement as new displays emerged from the ship's walls. Holographic interfaces unlike anything the Empire had created appeared at each station. The ship's AI returned to life, but different. Faster, clearer, more advanced. Imperial vessels. A calm human voice spoke through the new systems. "Your ships are being temporarily enhanced to demonstrate Earth's technological capabilities. Please do not interfere with the process." Davis watched as his mighty warship was transformed from within. Sensors he didn't understand revealed aspects of space he had never known existed. Power readings jumped to impossible levels as Earth's technology integrated with Imperial systems. "Impossible," he whispered. "Our ships are the most advanced in the galaxy." "Actually," the human voice replied, "your ships are approximately 300 years behind Earth's current technology level. We're giving you a small glimpse of what you've been unable to detect." In deep command, Rex stared at the readings from his enhanced fleet. How did you develop all this in secret?" Thompson smiled. "We didn't do it alone. Earth has allies, species so advanced they make your empire look primitive. They taught us long ago that true power lies in wisdom, not conquest." The displays showed new images. Vast structures hidden in dimensional pockets throughout the galaxy. Cities that existed between moments of time. Technologies that treated gravity and spacetime like artists treated clay. "Your empire expands through force," Thompson continued. Earth expanded through knowledge. While you conquered worlds, we learned from species that transcended the need for physical form. While you built warships, we learned to fold space. Rex watched as his fleet's enhanced sensors revealed the true Earth for the first time. Below the primitive surface, they had detected lay a world transformed. Quantum technologies powered cities that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Transport systems that ignored physical space. Energy sources that drew power from the fabric of reality itself. We're showing you this, Thompson explained, because your empire needs to understand its place in the galaxy. You're not the most advanced civilization. You're not even close. There are powers in space that have watched you expanding, waiting to see if you learn wisdom before you encountered them. And now, Rex asked quietly, now you have a choice. The nanites will revert your ships to normal in 1 hour. When they do, you can either accept that some regions of space are forbidden to your empire, or Thompson let the sentence hang. Above them, the transformed Imperial ships hung in space, their enhanced systems showing them wonders and terrors they had never imagined. The Empire's understanding of its place in the cosmos was being forcibly expanded, and the shock waves from this revelation would soon reach the Imperial throne itself. The Star Sovereign's enhanced systems began their countdown to reversion. First Officer Davis and his crew frantically recorded everything their temporary quantum sensors revealed. Glimpses of technologies that would revolutionize Imperial science if they could understand even a fraction of what they were seeing. In deep command, General Thompson activated a new holographic display. Admiral Rex, it's time to discuss Earth's terms. These are non-negotiable. The display showed a map of the galaxy, but unlike any Rex had seen before, new layers of reality appeared, dimensional corridors, quantum highways, and hidden regions of space the Empire had never detected. First, Thompson began, the Empire will acknowledge Earth and its associated systems as permanently independent territory. Red lines appeared on the map, marking out zones that stretched far beyond Earth. These boundaries are already enforced by technologies your ships cannot detect or counter. Rex studied the marked regions. They included systems the Empire had thought empty, worthless spaces they had passed by countless times. Those dead worlds, they're all hidden human colonies, yes, along with the territories of our allies. Thompson gestured, and more layers appeared on the map. The species you dismiss as myths, the ones your scouts report as ghost signals, they're all real, Admiral, and they're all connected to Earth's network. On the Star Sovereign, Davis watched in awe as the enhanced sensors revealed these hidden civilizations. Entire worlds shimmered into view, existing in parallel spaces alongside known Imperial territories. Second term, Thompson continued, the Empire will cease all attempts to probe or enter these restricted zones. Your next violation will not be met with diplomacy. The display showed defense systems activated throughout the marked territories. Technologies that made Earth's revealed defenses look primitive in comparison. Third, Thompson gestured, and the map highlighted trading routes. We'll establish diplomatic and economic relations with the Empire, but on equal terms. You will not be the dominant partner. Rex laughed bitterly. The Imperial throne will never agree to this. We don't accept equals. You do now. Thompson's voice was steel. Because the alternative is watching your Empire's technology fail system by system. Those nanites we deployed, they didn't just enhance your ships. They mapped every weakness in Imperial technology. We can shut down your entire civilization with a quantum signal. As if to demonstrate, the enhanced Imperial ships suddenly lost all power. Emergency systems failed. Even life support flickered. Then, just as quickly, everything returned to normal. That was a fraction of our capability, Thompson said quietly. Imagine that happening across your entire empire, Admiral. Every ship, every station, every colony world, all going dark simultaneously. Rex felt cold sweat on his neck. You would destroy our civilization. No, Thompson's voice softened. We're offering to help advance it. Accept Earth's terms, and we'll share some of our technology. Not the advanced quantum sciences, but enough to improve your people's lives. Help them progress beyond the need for constant conquest. The display shifted again, showing potential futures. Imperial worlds transformed by clean energy. Poverty and resource shortages eliminated by replication technology. New medical sciences extending life and eliminating disease. This is your empire's moment of choice, Admiral. Continue your path of conquest, and eventually you'll encounter powers that won't be as diplomatic as Earth. Or accept these terms, and let us help guide your civilization towards something greater. On the Star Sovereign, Davis watched the countdown reach its final minutes. Soon, the enhanced systems would revert, taking with them this window into Earth's true power. But the message had been delivered. The Empire wasn't the supreme force it had believed itself to be. Your decision, Admiral, Thompson asked quietly. Rex stared at the galactic display, seeing his Empire's true position in the cosmic order for the first time. They weren't the masters of space they had claimed to be. They were children playing at Empire, while ancient powers watched from hidden realms. I will convey Earth's terms to the Imperial throne, he said finally, and I will recommend acceptance. The Empire must change, or it will not survive its next first contact. Thompson nodded. A wise choice, Admiral. Now let's discuss how we'll present this to your leaders. The future of both our civilizations depends on what happens next. Above them, the countdown reached 0, and the Imperial fleet began its return to normal. But nothing would ever be normal again. The Empire's understanding of the galaxy had been forever changed, and a new chapter in cosmic history was about to begin. The Imperial Palace on Capital World trembled with rage. Emperor Marcus slammed his fist on his quantum crystal throne as he watched the recorded message from Admiral Rex and the humans of Earth. Impossible, he roared. No single world can dictate terms to the Empire. Ready the death fleets, all of them. His advisors shifted uncomfortably. Grand Admiral White, commander of all Imperial forces, stepped forward. My Emperor, I strongly advise against this action. The data Admiral Rex transmitted, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. You fear these humans. I fear what they represent, White replied carefully. Our best scientists have analyzed the sensor readings from the enhanced ships. The technology gap between us and Earth isn't just centuries. It's beyond our comprehension. The throne room's holographic displays activated, showing the Imperial fleet's recordings. The Emperor watched as Earth's defense systems demonstrated power that violated what his civilization believed were the fundamental laws of physics. Furthermore, White continued, we've detected changes spreading through our networks. As if on cue, the palace lights flickered. Throughout the capital, quantum systems began acting strangely. Imperial security protocols activated, then shut down, then reactivated with new patterns. A new voice filled the throne room. General Thompson's. Emperor Marcus, I apologize for this interruption, but you need to understand the situation fully. The Emperor stood, fury on his face. How dare you penetrate our sacred? Your security, Thompson's voice cut in calmly, was outdated 3 centuries ago. Please, watch carefully. The throne room's displays shifted, showing hidden camera feeds from across the Empire. Quantum signatures appeared, revealing thousands of cloaked human observation posts that had existed undetected in Imperial space for generations. While your Empire expanded outward, Thompson explained, Earth expanded. Everywhere. We didn't need to conquer worlds. We simply needed to understand them. The Emperor sank back onto his throne as the displays showed more revelations. Earth ships, completely invisible to Imperial sensors, moving freely through his territory. Hidden bases in dimensional pockets. Technologies that his scientists had declared theoretically impossible. Your death fleets would never reach Earth, Thompson continued. But more importantly, they're no longer yours to command. Throughout Imperial space, the massive death fleets, planet-killing weapons platforms, and super dreadnoughts received new programming. Their quantum cores had been subtly altered during decades of human observation. "We're not destroying them," Thompson assured the shocked Emperor. "We're giving them new priorities. Your weapons of mass destruction are being repurposed for peaceful expansion. Their power will now be used to help your people, not threaten others." Grand Admiral White watched his tactical displays as the Death Fleets transformed. Weapon systems converted to terraforming platforms. Planet killers became world builders. "The choice before you is simple," Thompson's voice continued. "Accept Earth's terms for peaceful coexistence, and we'll help guide your empire toward a greater destiny. Refuse, and watch your power crumble as your technology fails, and your worlds realize they don't need imperial control to thrive." The Emperor's advisors whispered urgently among themselves. The evidence was undeniable. Earth hadn't just outmaneuvered the Empire. They had rendered its greatest weapons useless. "Why?" the Emperor asked finally. "If you have this power, why not simply destroy us?" "Because that's the difference between us," Thompson replied. "Earth doesn't seek to destroy or dominate. We protect. We guide. We help civilizations grow past their violent phases. The Empire can be more than a force of conquest." Grand Admiral White stepped forward again. "My Emperor, I recommend immediate acceptance of Earth's terms. We cannot win this conflict, but perhaps we can learn from it." The Emperor stared at the displays showing his transformed death fleets. Decades of military might, redirected in moments by technology he couldn't begin to comprehend. His empire's invincibility had been an illusion, maintained only because greater powers had chosen to remain hidden. "Send our acceptance," he said finally, his voice heavy with resignation. "The Empire will adapt." Throughout imperial space, hidden human observers registered the Emperor's decision. Earth's long vigil was ending. The time had come to guide another civilization toward a more enlightened future. In deep command, General Thompson nodded with satisfaction. "Final phase beginning," he told his staff. "Prepare for Imperial integration protocols." The real work, helping the Empire evolve beyond conquest, was about to begin. 1 year after the Empire's submission to Earth's terms, the galaxy had changed in ways no Imperial citizen could have imagined. The massive Imperial Palace, once a symbol of absolute power, now hosted representatives from hundreds of worlds, including previously hidden human colonies. Emperor Marcus stood at his palace's highest observation deck, watching ships of impossible design move through the capital's skies. Earth's promised technological sharing had begun, carefully measured to help rather than overwhelm Imperial society. "Remarkable progress," General Thompson said, stepping up beside the Emperor. "Your people have adapted well to the changes." Marcus nodded slowly. "They had no choice. Though I must admit, the benefits have been unexpected." Below them, the capital city gleamed with new energy. Quantum replication technology had eliminated poverty. Medical advances had cured diseases thought eternal. The Empire's citizens were discovering a new way of life. "The transition reports are encouraging," Thompson continued. 90% of Imperial worlds have accepted the new governing system. The remainder will follow soon. The new system was perhaps Earth's most revolutionary gift, a method of governance that balanced central authority with local independence. The Empire was transforming from a force of conquest into a cooperative alliance. In orbit, the once mighty Imperial warships now served as exploration vessels and humanitarian craft. Their weapons remained, but their primary mission had changed. The Empire's military had become a force for protection and aid rather than conquest. "There's something I still don't understand," Marcus said quietly. "With your power, you could have ruled the galaxy openly. Why remain hidden for so long?" Thompson smiled. "Because true power isn't about control. It's about wisdom. Earth learned that lesson from our own hidden guides centuries ago. Now we pass that lesson to you." The observation deck's displays activated, showing the galaxy in its true form. Layer upon layer of civilizations existed in harmony, most of them previously invisible to Imperial sensors. Earth had merely been the first of many hidden powers the Empire would come to know. Your empire sought to be the most powerful force in space, Thompson explained. But power isn't about having the strongest weapons or controlling the most worlds. It's about understanding when not to use that power. Below them, a group of Imperial children played with quantum toys, gifts from Earth's engineers. They manipulated tiny galaxies of light, learning about physics in ways their parents never could have imagined. This is your empire's true destiny, Thompson continued. Not conquering worlds, but helping them grow. Not demanding submission, but offering guidance. The same role Earth has played for centuries. Marcus watched as a new ship design emerged from the capital's quantum factories, a joint project between Imperial and Earth engineers. It represented everything the Empire was becoming. A fusion of strength and wisdom, power and restraint. The hardest part, Thompson said, is still ahead. Other empires will resist change, just as you did. They'll need guidance. That's where your experience will prove invaluable. The Emperor understood. His empire would help other civilizations make the same transition, guided by Earth just as Earth had been guided by others. The cycle would continue. And the powers beyond Earth? Marcus asked. Will we meet them? When you're ready, Thompson replied. There are layers of existence your people are only beginning to understand. Earth is merely a gateway to greater wonders. A quantum alert chimed softly. The first joint Earth-Imperial expedition was ready to launch. This mission would officially mark the Empire's new role in the galaxy. Explorers and guardians rather than conquerors. It's time, Thompson said. Your people await their Emperor's blessing for the new mission. Marcus straightened his robes, simpler now, but no less dignified. Then let us not keep them waiting. The future beckons. As they walked to the launch ceremony, Marcus reflected on how much had changed. His empire had been humbled, but then uplifted. Defeated, but then transformed. What had seemed like the end of imperial power had become the beginning of something far greater. Above the capital, Earth ships moved in formation with imperial vessels, their combined fleets now protecting rather than threatening. The galaxy was changing, guided by hidden hands that had watched and waited for centuries. The Empire's declaration of no entry had been answered by Earth's greater wisdom, and in that wisdom, both civilizations had found a better path forward, together. The end.